Okay, so my name is Laurent Mauriac. I'm a French journalist. I work for Brief Me. It's a newsletter that I created a few years ago, 4 years ago. And basically what we do is that we sum up the news each evening, and we give also explanations about what happened, and we send it by email to 8,000 paying subscribers.
Today you are brightly criticized Facebook. Would you repeat these important words about Facebook and threaten of this
Actually,
company?
yeah, the problem is Facebook is a company and it acts as a company, and so it's driven not by morality or by general interest, but it's driven by business and by economic constraints. So there is a kind of misunderstanding between what people would like Facebook to do and the reasons why Facebook operates, which basically is gathering as much users as possible and have them stay online as long as possible.
We see that Facebook tries to be closer to politicians of all countries, even in Estonia. Why? What is your opinion? Why they would contact them?
I'm not aware of that actually, because in France, Facebook is really outside of politics. But in the relationships between Facebook and politicians, what I see is how politicians use Facebook, and that's very interesting. And especially during the campaign in the United States, or the referendum about Brexit in the United Kingdoms, what strikes me is how now politicians use Facebook to incorporate fake news in their arguments, in their discourse, and that is really something new, and that's one of the biggest problems for the democracy, that politicians incorporate fake news in order to strengthen themselves, strengthen their base, and spread their words.
And maybe Facebook afraid of taxation, possible taxation, and it tries to avoid it, contacting politicians.
Yes, that's a possibility. I guess every firm would react in the same way. So really, what's very important to assess is that Facebook is a company and acts and behaves as a company, and you can't ask Facebook to behave in a different manner.
And how Facebook changed French media? Even we can find French media on Facebook.
Yes, sure. Actually, Facebook now is one of the main gateways between the public and the media. So it creates very complex relationships between the media and Facebook. We can call them like love-hate relationships, and they are complex. And the media needs Facebook in order to increase their audience, and Facebook needs the media because it also nurtures the service. But I'm afraid the media needs Facebook more than Facebook needs the media.
And what do you think about the idea that Facebook collects all the money and doesn't want to share it with other media?
It's a difficult issue actually, because you can't really say that Facebook collects all the money. I mean, Facebook set up a different model. It's really something new, So I'm not very comfortable with the argument that Facebook kind of stole the advertising business. It's more complex than that, I think.
So French media can earn money, yes, from advertisement.
Actually, there is a shift in the media, not only in France, but I guess in many countries, especially in the United States, but also in many European countries. Many medias really believed in the advertising model, and they offered their content for free based on the advertising model. But now there is a shift, and many of them, most of them, they see that it's not enough, that the advertising model is not able to sustain a newsroom, and so they shift to the paying model. And it's very difficult because you don't operate in the same way in these two very different models. But I think that what the media are trying to do is become less and less dependent on the advertising money.
And what is the main challenge for French media? Challenge or problem?
I think one of the main challenges is really to succeed in this transition from an advertising model to a subscriber model. Because the problem is that people won't subscribe for tens of different services. So there won't be enough room for all media who now are in this race.
Okay. And what about fake news? Do you have fake news or not?
Yeah, sure. I mean, fake news is really something that developed for two reasons, actually. The first reason is economic reason, because it's much easier and less time-consuming to produce fake news than real journalistic articles, because you don't have to report, you just have to write. You don't have to spend time on interviewing people or investigating. The second reason is political, because it has become a way to influence people and to build a political base. So it's very worrisome.
Okay. Thank you.